In the following game, I was playing against the Grandmaster from Armenia, Levon Aronian.
Hello everybody, I'm Grandmaster Alexandra Kosteniuk and I'll comment for you now one of my Blitz games from the 2009 World Blitz Championship. I am playing black against Levon Aronian from Armenia. That was the last game of the second day of the championship and I was already very happy because I just won against Anand and Polgar, and that was the last game of the day and I wanted to finish it with a nice result. So we're preparing for the game. The spectators are gathering around. The chief arbiter is about to start the game and I'm pressing the clock and the game started with d4, knight f6, c4 e6, knight f3, d5, knight c3 the queen's gambit, d takes c4, the same way I played with Anand, e3, that's the more solid way to play, a6, a4, c5, bishop takes c4, knight c6 castle, bishop e7, d takes c5, queen c7. The same variation happened in my game from this championship against Anatoly Karpov, which I finished in a draw. Here, after queen to c2, we reached the classical position of this variation. Bishop takes c5, rook d1, castle, knight e4, where white is slightly better developed, or it's easier for them to finish the development of their bishop on c1 by playing bishop d2, bishop c3, or b3, bishop b2. I just played bishop e7 and you see that Aronian played bishop d2 with the idea to play bishop c3 or rook a to c1, and I will need a few more moves to complete my development to connect the rooks, and white hopes to spend this time, to use this time and to get some advantage. Of course the position is almost equal, but this is the almost that sometimes decides the result of the game. I played b6, and I want to fan chat to my bishop by playing bishop b7. And here Aronian is choosing between probably rook a to c1 or the move that he made in the game, which is bishop d3. Bishop d3 is more aggressive since he is already threatening to take on f6 with the knight and then to take the pawn on h7. So I have to deal with this threat. I have to protect my king's side somehow. Of course, I don't want to move my pawns just yet until I forced to do so, because it will weaken the position of my king, and that's why I played knight d5, which looks nice with the idea to play knight b4 somewhere, not probably not in this position, but maybe in the future. You see that I have 1 minute 54 seconds left, while my opponent a little bit over 2 minutes. Again, it's time for white to think. What does he want to do? And now, after h4, rook a to c8, h5, it seems that white is almost there. White wants probably already to sacrifice on h7, knight takes h7, then to take on g6, or to take on g6 and then to take on g6 with the bishop. That's why I took bishop takes g5, knight takes g5, and here very interesting move, queen e5, inviting white to play f4, because if he retreats the knight, knight f3, I will just take the pawn on h5. That's why I told you earlier that I'm not really sure about this h4, h5 plan, because even though it looks dangerous, but the pawn is hanging. And after some thought, Aronian plays f4. And you see, I almost immediately replied with knight takes f4, which is a very, very strong move, which obviously Aronian missed when he was playing f4, since now he's in a big trouble. You see that he moved the pieces away and he understands how difficult his position is. We both have 1 minute left. I even have 1 minute and 8 seconds, a little bit more than Aronian, but the problem for white is not really this 10 seconds difference or 20 right now, but the problem is that he weakened his position very much, and after e takes f4, I'm giving check on d4, queen d4 check. He will need to move his king away, either to the h1, h2 or f1. King h2, and now knight b4, the discovered attack. My rook on c8 attacking the queen on c2, and my queen and knight attacking the bishop on d3. So I will win back this piece that I sacrificed 2 moves earlier. I will take the bishop on d3 on my next move, and at the same time I won pawn, and I just ruined the position of white on the king side. And it should be enough to win the game, and let's see how I continued. Queen b3, knight takes d3, rook takes c8, rook takes c8, h takes g6, h takes g6, and I have also a huge time advantage. Bishop e1, queen f4 check, bishop g3. Now I have 2 extra pawns, queen takes g5, queen takes d3, and the opposite colored bishops, which makes my attack even more dangerous. I have 50 seconds, my opponent has only 6. Queen h5 check, king g1, bishop d5, and it should be quite relatively easy to win, but of course you need to be very careful till the very end. Rook f1, bishop c4, queen c3. I missed queen c3, that's why I'm taking more seconds to think, but rook c5 is a very nice, strong, consolidating move. And after rook f2, queen d1 check, king h2, rook h5 check, and in a few more moves I will checkmate my opponent. That's why he resigned. It was very nice to finish this day with 3 wins in a row against such great chess players as Vishwanathan Anand, Judith Polgar, and Levon Aronian. And of course I was very, very happy about my result. In this second day of the championship I took 7 points out of 14, 50%, against very, very strong chess players.